takes you 6 or 7 days to make it to your destination, but once there, eventually you start to see it. What seems like an endless plain and battle-torn lands eventually becomes a desert, and you enter a gorgeous oasis-like desert area. Right, you travel through the sandy area for quite a while. Eventually, you end up in a sandstorm that throws you for a loop. You're not exactly sure where you are by the end of it, but you continue to trudge forward using the sun as a compass. Eventually, in the distance, you start seeing signs of a city.
Does it appear to be a gold city?
From the brilliant golden shimmer that you see in the distance, this is indeed the city that you are no doubt looking for. And when you heard the golden city, you probably had different types of expectations, but this would be described by nothing else but a golden city indeed. You see the palace off in the distance, shimmering in a brilliant golden light. You see the beautiful architecture. You see in the distance the hanging gardens of Zelios, and how beautiful it is, like an oasis in the middle of nowhere. It's breathtaking. No doubt when you get closer you'll be able to make it out even better. But for now, it seems like you'll have to travel for quite a while. It's a good thing that these horses never tire or are magical, otherwise they probably would have needed rest by now. The conditions are quite harsh. So much so that I'm gonna say that by the time you're starting to get closer to the city, all of you have suffered a level of exhaustion from the heat and the weather that's very not normal for this region.
With our magical fans?
Yep. Mages,
They're
not cut off for this kind of heat.
Would I be able to sort of counteract the exhaustion as someone used to living in extreme climates?
You are indeed used to living in extreme climates, and if you were up north you would be faring perfectly, but even you, with all your bulky resilience and nature, are starting to fall prey to the merciless heat. So I'm gonna say that you suffer a level of exhaustion as well. Plus, you have been traveling non-stop for a week through the battle lines, so it's only natural that fatigue has started to build up. So yes, you are all at one level of exhaustion. You start hearing some kind of commotion as you're getting closer to the city. A scene is unfolding somewhere ahead of you. Luckily nobody has spotted you, but this is what you see. There is a small pack of riders riding through the desert. You would estimate them about 20 or 40 men on horseback, raising dust in the deserts ahead of you. They seem to be chasing one person who is running through the dunes. They are still quite far behind him, however, as he is trying to make his escape.
I wonder what's going on there.
From what you can see about the soldiers, it's quite clear that this is the local army of the city. They wear their shields, which are round and short, are branded with the same mark that you can see in the distance near the city walls.
A better question is if this is a concern of ours.
Most likely not.
Don't know what's going on. Maybe he's a criminal.
They might be grateful if we stopped him. Wouldn't be too hard.
And make the army our enemy?
I said
No,
him,
stop.
not them.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Okay,
stop
yeah.
the criminal.
Possibly.
I'm just gonna follow behind Vendrik, simply because there's no way I'm gonna make it in time.
Gotcha. Right. So as you guys start getting closer, you get a better view of the person that these guys are trying to capture as well. This is the person in question who is being chased by all these soldiers. As he eventually manages to reach the guards holding the child, you see that he immediately engages them without them exchanging much words. He is not using his bow, however. He is only using his bare hands, and he makes very quick work of the guards flawlessly. He is clearly very well trained in hand-to-hand combat. After a good 10 or 15 seconds, the guards are all flat on their asses, and while they're not taken care of, you see that some of them are just dazed and are starting to recover. He takes this moment to grab the child. As he grabs the child, however, you notice something unexpected. The child, which at first seemed very grateful to be saved, suddenly reaches out and takes out a small dagger from its pocket and plunges it into the side of this person, burying the dagger deep into his side. The man winces in pain and drops the child. The child quickly runs away from the scene as the man pulls out the dagger from his side, now bleeding from the wound. Alyssia, roll me perception.
Okay. Wow. Holy crap.
The only one that can roll me perception is Iris,
Right then. Where is it? There it is.
since she's the one that followed first.
No, wait, you said Alyssia, but anyway.
I mean Iris, said Iris.
Alright,
Not much
well,
better.
None of you noticed, for some reason, the person that just got stabbed, even though the dagger was small and it shouldn't affect him so much, the person is very slow to get back up to his feet. It looks like rather than engaging him, they're just waiting for something and not allowing him to get away. They're just putting pressure on him without engaging him. The person in the middle is starting to stagger on his feet. He's not drawing his weapon, he has his hands raised. It seems like he doesn't intend to kill anybody, despite him clearly being at a huge disadvantage.
By the way, I'm gonna look towards...
I'm open to that.
Wait, what about a storm?
A storm?
Winds, you know, desert storm. Camouflage.
I think we might be able to do that as well.
Perfect.
What do you think, my darling? Should
If
we
you
try
can
out our
power-
new powers?
Yes, if you can help me power up a major illusion, I can definitely do that.
In that case, then let's do it. As he says that, Vira, since you've spent so much time with Gio, you can always sense the subtle changes when it's related to him. Usually, he's just a presence that you feel inside you, like a warm feeling inside your belly. However, things are different since you decided to consume that powerful soul, and since Reinhardt gave you some of his strength. Gio has become a lot more powerful, and he's not just a warm feeling inside your belly anymore. If anything, it feels like he's wrapped around you, like an armor that you cannot see but you can feel. It feels like he's constantly everywhere around you, almost like a defensive barrier to protect you. And as you try to cast a major illusion, Gio has no problem strengthening it. Soon enough, a desert storm begins to pick up, and it starts to violently encroach on the army, trying to kill the man in the middle. This will no doubt buy you some time.
Right, essentially, since we've got this cover, I'm going to motion for the others to basically turn back around as I'm going to go in and attempt to grab the guy to zoom out of there.
Right. In that case, you will have no problem getting in the thick of things, since Vira and Gio are actively, this is their illusion, so they're trying to give you an edge over the opponents. You manage to get to the person inside the storm without any problems. You see that his hands are up to defend himself, and he actively acknowledges that somebody is getting closer. Obviously, he thinks it's an enemy, so he tries to defend himself, but in his current state, he is unable to. You saw him fight earlier, he seems quite skilled, but as you swoop in, he almost gives you no resistance as you grab him. He seems incredibly weak. He was probably poisoned by that dagger, and the effect is setting in rather quickly. He offers you no resistance as you pick him up. In fact, the moment you pick him up, you sense that he goes out cold. He's unconscious.
Jeez, that's one powerful poison. Can I pick up a dagger on my way too?
You can if you want to.
Sure, I might as well just scoop it over my foot, grab it midway, and dash
You
off.
see that the edge is not covered in just red, but there seems to be some sickly green coating on the edge of the blade.
This would be useful for Alyssia. But yeah, I'm gonna basically dash back away. So I'm gonna go and hide amongst the dunes with the others.
Soon enough, the illusion that was set up begins to clear, and the rest of the army starts to yell in demonic. So some of you don't recognize. Those that do speak demonic hear them saying, find him, find the devil, he must be killed in the name of our king. Kill the devil, don't let him escape.
I'm assuming Gio is acting as a sentient translator.
Yep, for you. And they start spreading out looking for the person. Iris, since you're trying to hide, why don't you give me a roll for that?
Wow, hide check. Oh jeez. Stealthier.
Yeah, go stealth.
That's pretty good actually, nice.
Yeah, that's actually decent. I'm gonna say that you just barely make it,
Whew.
considering the situation. Suddenly you get a vibe, our Metal Gear Solid 5, as you guys are hiding at the end of the game from the passing convoy. Luckily this time though, since you're a monk, when you see the snake going for you, you just grab it and are like, please, and you toss it aside. Rather than get bitten.
Fuck off.
It's not like you're the best soldier in the world, Snake, what the fuck?
Okay, calm down.
Okay, sorry, we got sidetracked there for a sec, never mind.
Essentially, she's going to start drawing out talismans and laying it across the wound, and now I'm going to make a will roll.
Yeah, I haven't
See
got
what
anything
you
that
got.
cures poison apart from, you know,
I don't think
regular
that-
medicine.
Right, like, just to check, I don't think the poisonous kit can actually make antidotes, can it?
You can use the poison and study it and make an antidote out of it, but if you can do that on the fly and fast enough to cure him is a different subject. You can try though.
Wisdom.
I need to become the god of poisonings.
I'm basically chanting.
Well, the problem is I don't even have the
With
poison
such a
dagger,
good roll,
so
Iris,
whatever.
your talismans are actually effective. You, it seems like you cannot purge and get rid of the poison. It's very strong. However, you manage to, shall we say, gather it up because it was starting to spread through his system. You use your talismans in a very skillful way to isolate the poison and stop it from spreading. You manage to start to press it towards the wound, and naturally the flow of his blood from his wound starts dispersing the poison. After a good 5 or 10 minutes, and after using a lot of talismans, you manage to purge the poison from his body. He will recover, if not for the gaping wound in his side, of course, since he's gonna need some treatment for that.
Yeah, I suspect that I couldn't also heal him with a talisman if I was focusing on poison recovery.
Sadly, you were too focused on the poison, so if you want to
Yeah.
additionally use talismans to heal him, you're gonna have to roll again.
Well, I don't have to roll for the normal healing, but I'm going to look towards medicine people.
No, you don't have to roll for the normal healing, but you can roll to have a more beneficial effect since you're out of combat.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to look towards the medicine people first, since my talismans, I can't make them on the fly exactly.
I wanna succeed once.
Have someone else like Vendrik help you.
I would say I'd help, but I've just been walking my horse up this whole time. Like, I
Whatever
was
you're
not in a
trying to
hurry.
do, Vira, it's not working.
Somebody get me medical training.
I mean, do you want me to teach you some basic stuff?
Yes.
Can I maybe try?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Wow.
Stitch.
I feel like that's a big middle finger towards Vira from the gods of dice.
Iris is like, stand back.
You start wrapping up some bandages around the wound, and you finish off with one of your talismans that's particularly more effective than usual. This doesn't count up towards your talisman use because it's that good. You're that good. You made it on the fly right now.
Just right now, boof. Personalized.
And you feel that his breathing is starting to calm down and he stops sweating. The man is just resting quietly. He must feel a lot better thanks to what you did, even though he's still unconscious. You judge by his current condition that it's not gonna take him long to come around. He's probably gonna wake up soon, actually.
Oh, good. Oh, I guess we're gonna get... Can I get us to a shady spot then? Any outcroppings of rock?
Sadly, there's no shady spots out here. The only place that you can take him is probably the city.
I guess we're gonna slowly start heading towards there then.
Yes, let's take him towards the city where, you know, everyone wants to kill him.
The slums. Alyssia should know, you can get lost in the slums. Pff, what guards would go to the slums?
Entering the city is much more easy than you expected. Sure, there are walls, but they are not surrounding the entire city. Entering the slums is relatively easy. However, the next part of your journey towards the Hanging Gardens, like you saw from the notes, would be much more challenging. It's not long before you've entered the slums. Everywhere around you, you hear nothing but demonic tongue. The people here do not speak the common language, only demonic.
Well,
you
how lucky that I
quickly
speak demonic.
take note that you should probably stick more to yourself and not stand out too much, as you cover yourselves in rocks and different things, so you don't stand out as you would actually, because as you can imagine, there are no humans here.
But the only
The demons
two
are
people
mostly
here that
humanoid,
don't
and they're
speak
busy
demonic.
going along with their daily lives. So for the most part, they're completely ignoring you as you're going through the slums.
I mean, luckily I speak demonic. Oh.
Yeah, there's only 2 people in our group who don't.
Well, 3 if you count
Alyssia,
Geo.
you do not have any contacts in this city.
The fuck are you talking about? Geo doesn't speak demonic. He's a demon.
What?
He
said-
said no. He said there's only 2 people in the group who doesn't speak demonic.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she said
Oh,
3
yeah.
if you count Geo.
Oh, no, sorry, I misunderstood him before. Yeah.
There seem to be a lot of abandoned houses here in the slums, so you
Mine.
can probably, you know, sneak into one of them and use them for now if you want. Or alternatively, you can just keep going, though you are standing out with, you know, an unconscious guy on your shoulder.
But
shit.
that's not flipping strange around here. That's what poor people do, right?
Actually,
Just pass out
no,
all the
it's
time.
not. You notice that a lot of the people here look like they're on their last leg. Many of them look exhausted, tired, almost dead on their feet. Some are actively passing out on the streets and nobody is stopping to help them, just letting them there.
We're kind
They're
Samaritans.
There are no guards around, you see no soldiers or anything.
Cool. But
The
yeah,
people are just diligently continuing with their work, almost like mindless drones, even if it kills them.
right, I'm gonna open the door to one of the abandoned houses, set him down somewhere
Roll me inside.
in sight. Awesome, I've actually got that. Boom.
Based on the traffic of the people, the streets, the condition of some of the housing facilities, you managed to spot one of the houses that you are pretty sure that it's probably abandoned. It's burnt and run down. Nobody has been here for a while. This looks like a perfect hideout where nobody will bother you.
Good. So yeah, I basically put him down. I use like my cloak as a over the floor.
Uh, So, regardless of that, Alyssia is going to check over the house to make damn sure we don't get, you know, ambushed.
Looks like Iris's hunch was correct. This place seems very secure. Nobody seems to know that you guys are here, and nobody seems like has any intention of coming here anytime soon.
No, whatever. Ah, yes, the riding by the seat of the pants method. Very
Me?
organized.
Hey, if you have a better plan, go ahead. In fact, go and scout around the slums. We're gonna need where everything is.
Well, if I had been in charge, I wouldn't have helped the man in the first place.
Yes, and then we would have been doubly as lost. As I mentioned, clearly this guy is no fan of a king. Go on, go scout.
Talking among yourself, you hear some kind of horn off in the distance. From what you can gather, the sound is coming somewhere from the center of the city, from a nearby plaza, where a lot of the residents are starting to gather. It seems like they're going to be handing out food rations.
Well, Alyssia makes her way towards that direction, but she doesn't actually want to, you know, get too close. She mainly wants to observe.
What you manage to see up in front is everybody is waiting in a very strict and tight line. Again, this strikes you as odd, considering, you know, they're giving out such important things out here apparently. Everybody has their place in the line and everybody is being very patient. Nobody is trying to shove, push or, you know, being disrespectful, despite them not being any guards to organize them. There's only one guard in the entire plaza, and he's the one dealing out the supplies.
Okay, here's a question. How close to one another are houses generally in the city?
Everything is very packed.
How tall are the buildings?
Most of them are 3 or 4 stories high.
Holy crap.
This is not something you would see in normal human cities, by the way. This is a big deal. The architecture here, even though these are slums, is astounding. The human cities can really learn a lot from this place. As you can see, the rations being handed out in the slums are everybody gets a piece of bread and a cup of water. Those are the rations for everybody. And they're being given out equally.
Damn. Well, I'm not going to go up on the rooftops. I think I'm going to stick to... Well, Alyssa's going to stick to the crowd and, you know, hide in the masses. And basically take a walk around, trying not to...
A peasant is starting to walk closer to you as he has noticed you. He was making his way to the plaza, but when he saw you, he started to slowly making his way to you. What do you do?
Well, Alyssia will pretend that she has not noticed him and make her way towards an alleyway somewhere close by.
As you're trying to walk away, the person starts to, in his raspy voice, call out after you in demonic. Excuse me, using your mantra enchant. So, as you see the person walk into the alley beneath you, he takes a look around for you. He looks distressed that he can't find you, and then he slowly goes back to his own business, heading to the plaza.
Oh no. Alyssia quietly unsheaths a dagger and drops down on top of him.
On top of him?
Well, not on top of him directly, but like
behind
sort
him?
of. Basically, she wants to like wrestle him to the ground and put a dagger to his neck and inquire what the fuck he's doing and who the fuck he is.
You can do that quite easily, considering you get the jump on him. The person collapses to the ground with a foot. He lets out a very weak groan as you wrestle him down. As you grab a hold of the person, you realize that you're holding more bones than flesh. The person is very skinny. Like dangerously so.
Well, Alyssia addresses him in demonic. Who are you and what do you want with me?
What? What are you doing? I saw you in the alley. You were not going for your rations. That's not good. You need to feed, or you won't survive.
Congratulations, you just drop-tackled a concerned pedestrian. How do you feel?
I want to roll insight to see if he's actually telling the truth. Just like.
The person is 100% truthful. He saw you standing there and he was worried about you not going for your food rations. He has no ulterior motives.
Fuck. Okay, Alyssia quickly glances around. Is there somewhere she can stash a body?
Considering where you are, you can stash one probably in a million spots in this alley alone.
Or just in the street.
Great. Wait, does it like the guy I'm sitting on, is he human or demon?
He is in fact a demon. There are no humans in the city.
Okay,
also,
but he's
he still
humanoid.
hasn't seen you. He apparently doesn't even have the strength to look up. He seems very weak and tired.
Well, fine. Actually, no, fuck it, I'm not gonna kill him. Alyssia is simply gonna choke him out so he's unconscious.
You find that a terribly easy job. The person offers almost no resistance. He is confused, he doesn't fight back, and he's very, very weak.
Great, then she dumps him in like a garbage pile or something. Somewhere where he won't be noticed too quickly.
Okay, you can do that very easily.
Great, and then she disappears. Off somewhere.
Gotcha. Anything, what about the rest of you guys? What are you doing?
Well, presumably we're waiting for her to get the report back, and we'll be interrogating our guy when he wakes up.
I am watching over our guy, basically just kind of like dabbing at his forehead with water and, you know, shit, I guess.
You're basically taking care of him, is that right?
Yep. I'm like the nurse with 0 medical training.
And
I sense saltiness.
You're a good person, that's what counts.
I'm a medic.
And because she doesn't actually have any medical training, I'm also in the room. You know, she's moral support, I'm actual support.
I'm gonna ask, while he's unconscious, I'm gonna ask him to teach me about medicine.
Oh, I'll have this. I'll start dressing the wound and then you watch.
Alright, fair enough.
Right.
I'm just gonna undo this masterwork.
After the people have had their rations handed over, they eat and start returning to their houses. There's no people out in the streets, there's no commotion, there's nothing. People after dinner immediately go back to their houses to sleep for the night. So it's very quiet when night rolls around. And that's when your mysterious new patient begins to stir as he's waking up.
I'm gonna motion for the other two to basically get away from him as I'm kneeling down in the middle of a room facing him.
I'll gently place his head down on like a folded up cloth or a pillow or something.
As he opens his eyes, his hand immediately reaches out for the place where he got stabbed, as is an instinct for him, and he realizes that his wound has been treated. It's then that his eyes dart around the room and he starts spotting the rest of you guys around him. He makes an effort to sit up, which is clearly quite painful for him right now, but he does so, and he speaks in demonic. I do not know who you are, but thank you for treating me.
By the way, I'm gonna ask Vira if Geo can translate to me.
Yeah, sure, I'll have
Yes, I'm
Geo
gonna assume that
translating
since some
aloud.
of you know the language, unless you tell me otherwise, you're just translating so everybody knows what's being said.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, having Geo translate aloud.
Yeah, so essentially she's gonna say, "Don't worry about it. You look like you're in a bit of trouble back there."
I was. Sadly, I fell victim to one of the oldest tricks. But I couldn't just live with myself if I didn't took that chance. If that kid was innocent, then its blood would have been on my hand if I did nothing.
That's right. Taking chances. Spice of life, isn't it? But you're alive. The kid's safe. Don't worry.
That,
The
You-
kid's an asshole. I'm not saying that in character.
well, he was a child assassin, that's a thing. I mean, just ask Alyssia. I mean, what?
Yeah, what? Child assassins aren't perfectly normal? Doesn't everyone have one?
At
I
any
have
rate,
several.
the man says, again, thank you. I do not know how I can repay your kindness. Why would you help me?
What can I say? I saw you trying to go and help that child, didn't kill any other people. Decided that we'll better not lose one more good person.
You are outsiders. We have not seen outsiders in a long time. What race are you?
I'm gonna look around at the others and go, does it matter? What? Hey!
What? Twice?
He's got to next.